big story, and this is where it becomes very alarming. War clouds are deepening. How do we know this? More intense conflict taking place. India today now wants to get you satellite imagery at one of the biggest oil refineries that have been targeted, the Ras Tanura oil refinery in Saudi Arabia. That's been targeted by Iran. Iran's attack on the refinery actually represents a massive escalation. Analysts are saying Iran is demonstrating that key Gulf energy infrastructure is within its reach. What will this lead to? This will lead to investor sentiment worsening in the oil sector. Saudi Arabia intercepted a large number of drones that were coming in. Saudi Arabia has invested very heavily in air defense systems. Saudi Arabia successfully intercepted the Iranian drones that were coming in, the drones that were specifically out to target the Ras Tanura oil refinery near Dammam. The refinery was shut down as a precaution, the Saudi state television reported. Apparently, there was some debris that led to some images causing panic. Market attention has focused on whether the conflict will widen to other oil-producing countries in the region. Iran's attack on Ras Tanura refinery actually represents a massive escalation. In the past, you've had the Houthi rebels in Yemen, the Houthi forces in Yemen target Saudi oil assets, and that led to a lot of fluctuation and tensions in the market. But this current strike is being seen as a massive escalation. A Middle East analyst said, and I quote, while Iran is demonstrating that key Gulf energy infrastructure is within its reach, all of this could lead to an impact on investor sentiment. Satellite images, and we want to show you the satellite images at the Aramco plant in Saudi Arabia. So these are satellite images that have been taken by Vantor and shared with the Associated Press. This shows the extent of damage at the Ras Tanura oil refinery. Satellite images show a damaged building and the attack that a drone was trying to target. We also want to show you the impact in a retaliatory strike that has taken place, where in Kermanshah in Iran, buildings have been damaged. So intensification of warfare on operations only indicate worse is in store. Iran's ambassador to the International Atomic Energy Agency on Monday said airstrikes by the United States and Israel had specifically targeted Natanz, and Natanz is a uranium enrichment facility in Iran. He said this contradicts an assessment by the UN nuclear watchdog chief, who insisted up to now the agency had seen absolutely no indication of nuclear facilities being targeted in Iran. Let me tell you a little more about the Natanz site. The Natanz site had been targeted even earlier during the 12-day war in 2025, June 2025. Isfahan, Natanz, Fordo, they had been targeted. This is about 220 kilometers south of the capital, Tehran. It's a combination. It has both above the ground laboratories and subsurface laboratories. Majority of the work happens subsurface. Now, that time American President Donald Trump had claimed that Iran's nuclear dreams were dead, they'd been obliterated, or words to that effect. 8 months down the line, it seems it's a completely different story, and I want to bring in my colleague Sandeep Punnithan for more on this. Sandeep, both these are very alarming developments. And let's first talk about the targeting of Saudi oil refineries, or an attempt to target the oil refineries by Iran. Marks massive escalation.
Certainly, Gaurav, and Iran is climbing up the escalation ladder. It's not just attacking US military bases, it's now moved up and it's targeting the oil infrastructure of countries in the region, the Gulf Cooperative Council members, particularly Saudi Arabia. And Gaurav, as you mentioned, it has Aramco, which is the world's second largest oil producer after Rosneft. Aramco had its facilities attacked in 2019, but those were by the Houthis, who launched long-range drone attacks in September of 2019. Aramco has been there before, but this is the first time Iran has directly attacked oil infrastructure belonging to Saudi Arabia. And it is sending a message, Gaurav, that it has the potential to escalate it across other oil infrastructure in other Gulf, monarchies that produce oil. So this is, you're slowly ascending, an escalation ladder, and it could go out of control very quickly, Gaurav.
And the world, which is so interconnected right now, though we've seen Iraq do that, you'd recall Saddam Hussein's times when Iraq did that, setting Kuwait's oil refineries on fire, and that invited massive punitive action against Saddam Hussein in Iraq. However, the damage to the economy then and the damage to the economy now, if Iran targets Saudi oil, it will be huge, huge escalation, Sandeep.
Be certainly, Gaurav, and this is a point to note for India as well, because a lot of our oil, 30 to 40% of our oil flows in from West Asia. We have de-risked our oil supply options of late in the last couple of years. We've expanded our suppliers of oil, but primarily it flows in from West Asia. And if the Persian Gulf is blocked, if oil refineries start to get attacked, that's going to create a big problem for us.
Sandeep, stay with me for a moment.